Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Peter Barber. I'm primarily a professional opera singer, music producer, bass vocalist, and recently have relaunched my podcast, Vocal Arts with Peter Barber. You probably have a lot of questions like, where are you right now? And what is this setup? Why are the angles different? Well, in short, I'm in a program called Music Academy of the West. I am in a dorm room for the summer. Not totally ideal for setting up a studio, so we've got a little bit of an adjusted angle on the camera. And but yeah, I'm in Santa Barbara doing an opera program this summer, so that's where I'm at. I actually kind of just ran out of recorded material. I had recorded like 2 months of material back in Philadelphia, so the last video you will have seen will be me during the production of Don Giovanni with like a mustache and a beard. That was like about 2 months ago, and I kind of stockpiled content so that I could get to this point now because I knew life was going to be absolutely insane up until this point. And it's always crazy, but I am now gaining a little bit of free time back. So I'm back to making some new content. And of course, I'm going to start with I See Fire by the man, the myth, the legend, GeoffCastellucci. Yeah, so we're going to get into that today, guys. You know, the goal for this channel is to provide you as much value and entertainment and enjoyment and education as possible. And if I'm doing that, please do consider joining my Patreon for as little as $3 a month. I am about to shift that up to $3 from $1 because I give a lot away for $1. It's early access to everything. It's access to my Discord server. It's the ability to actually communicate with me on a regular basis. It's the only place you can do that. DMs don't really check that often anymore on Instagram. The requests, I mean, of course, I still message people in DMs. YouTube comments, I do respond. I do read them all, but I definitely cannot respond to all of them. But my Discord server and my Patreon, you can actually interact with me on a consistent basis. So moving that up to $3 a month, like pretty much effective now as you're watching this. So it'd be great if you want to support me that way. And then of course you can scale up the tiers as you want to support me further, all of which is most greatly appreciated. Also, you will see that we crossed the 100,000 mark, guys. So the silver plaque from YouTube is on the way. Very, very exciting. I'll, of course, do some kind of live or edited unboxing video for that, but I'm very excited to share that experience with you guys and to, you know, thank you all so much for the support really over the last 2 years. I mean, my first video I did pretty much was Jeff's Misty Mountains video about 2 years ago, and look how far we've come. So that's that, guys. Please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and dive in and listen to the bass legend GeoffCastellucci, of which you may be seeing more of on my channel in the coming weeks. Ding! Without giving away too much, let's see what he does with this piece. I got my Vipers, got my keypad, got my yerba mate, and God, it's been a long time. I'm very excited. Let's do this thing. Let's turn off the captions here. All right, let's go.
Oh, misty eye of the mountain below.
Also, I will be pausing a lot to talk about Jeff's amazing vocalisms, and of course his low notes. This is an analysis. It's in the title. So do not be confused when you see 30-minute video, reaction, and analysis. I will be pausing a lot to talk about music and the voice. So let's go ahead and get started. I did actually see him post a clip of this on his Instagram, doing it raw, doing it live. For all those haters out there that think it's not possible for a human to sing this low, Jeff can actually sing this low. Is that where he starts? B flat? Let's see, I might have mispegged that.
Oh,
Yeah, B flat.
misty eye of the mountain below.
Down to A flat 1. Pure chest voice for your boy. I do have the Vipers ready to be thrown on at a moment's notice. I'm always resistant to giving Jeff Vipers because he has so many amazing, powerful deep low notes, and I don't want to give him like 43 in one video. I just wear them the whole time. So I'm gonna be a little bit of a tease with the Vipers. They're there though. They're waiting.
Keep careful watch of my brother's souls.
So what's Jeff doing here in his low range? So these super low notes he gets down and he uses a lower laryngeal position to add some of that darkness and that warmth to the sound. Jeff does a really good job in these super low notes of keeping good vocal fold closure. So it doesn't get, unless he allows it to, it doesn't get super breathy. He like maintains the kind of weight in the sound. Of course, this is artistic choice by him. We've heard him sing low notes that are very breathy and more natural sounding, but often he kind of opts for this more kind of freaky super low bass sound that we're getting here on these low B flats, and especially the A flat ones. You can really hear a shift in his approach to those low notes, going from that B flat one, which is a much easier note for him, a more consistent note, and the A flat one is starting to get into that extreme low territory. So just be mindful of the differences of how he approaches those super low pitches.
Below, yeah, of the mountain below.
So you listen to Mound 10, that 10 on Mound 10 is a much more natural sound, and then he goes to a much more compressed, kind of a little bit of an over-darkened sound for that A flat.
It's the air of the mountain below. Keep careful watch of my brother's souls. And should the sky be filled with fire and smoke, keep watching over during sun.
What was that sub? F1 sub for Jeff. We know Jeff for his subharmonics. That is activating an undertone exactly 1 octave under the pitch you are singing in chest voice. This has to do with the pattern that the vocal folds are coming together in. A long time ago, and I think this is what people thought for a while, we thought that this kind of subharmonic singing was an activation of the false folds. Turns out it's not actually. There are tons of kinds of subharmonic singing that do involve the false folds, like the growl technique and the Kargira technique. Those kinds of more aggressive sounds, really, more guttural sounds. This kind of subharmonic does have, it's like a mathematical pattern that the vocal folds take to create that undertone. And it is exactly 1 octave under his chest voice. So he's really singing that pitch, but he's creating that that F sharp 1, which I don't really have access to right now. Have not practiced my subs in months because it's been all opera. But that's why we have Jeff here, to do a good F1 subharmonic. But he's singing an F2 in pure chest, and he's creating that F1 subharmonic.
Keep fire and smoke. Keep watching over during sun.
That sounds like F1, F sharp 1 chest voice in that low. It has that kind of freakish, really, open throat, kind of tongue retracted, over dark sound that Jeff utilizes on those extreme lows. It's difficult to tell in a blended harmony structure kind of what technique people are using, but to my ear, that sounds like the man, the myth, the legend is actually using an F sharp 1 full chest voice, which is freaky. So just voice and piano right now. Well, that is the Aeolian cadence, but since it's in minor, B flat minor, we wouldn't really call it an Aeolian cadence, but that is my favorite kind of cadence, which I've talked about tons in these videos. So we have B flat minor, F sharp major, A flat major, B flat minor. So in a major key, that would be an Aeolian cadence, and this is just kind of standard minor progression. It is a progression that I do happen to love a lot either way, though.
If this is to end in fire, then we should all burn together. Watch the flames climb high into the night.
So okay, great. So these are low. This is down to B flat ones again. And this is like a very easy, natural approach to his singing. So there's no manufacturing. He's not even adding any really space and warmth. This is just like Jeff's voice in its natural habitat without anything added to it. He's allowing the breathiness to come through. There's no attempt to make a ton of power in those low notes. He's really letting it happen naturally, just kind of letting the sound pour out. And as far as creating a story arc and creating intensity and revving up to create a kind of peak or climax in the song, this is a great way to do it because you start out at a very natural, easy place, and then you can slowly build power into the voice leading to that climax. So great way to start the piece. Love, love, love. And I love Jeff's supernatural approach when he does it.
Then we should...
No. Let's listen to the whole first verse.
If this is to end in fire, then we should all burn together. Watch the flames climb high into the night. Calling out, Father, stand by and we will watch the flames burn on the mountainside.
Oh! See again, so we're getting such obvious and clear contrast between his approach to these certain notes. So it's more common when Jeff goes down that low to the A flat one that we get that kind of freaky, super open throat position like we got in the intro to this song. And then here it's completely natural. It's like super, super breathy and relaxed. And so this is Jeff showing that he can still get that low without having to force it. Now, of course, this may be done with morning voice or whatever, but the point is that he's not compressing or forcing to get down to that A flat one. It is coming quite naturally. So let's listen to that again. I love, 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 love it.
Burn on the mountainside.
Mountainside.
The flames burn on the mountainside high.
Gorgeous. And we just have mms in the background. Again, a vowel, semi-occluded vocal track position, an SOVT that's going to blend super well, super easy, and it's a very subdued sound. So again, like how he's starting this first verse intimately singing in the solo part of this arrangement, he's also approaching that in the background harmonies, to which you can open from to oo to e to a to ah, and kind of rev up the intensity again towards that climax that we'll get to whenever. This is, of course, my first time seeing this, so I don't know when. If you open up those vowels, it adds those overtones to the sound, which is going to create more intensity in the sound. And it looks like he's approaching that in parallel, a little parallel pathing between the solo voice and the harmonies, which works really well, makes a lot of sense.
And if we should die tonight, then we should all die together.
It's funny, the bearded Jeff, you would have expected to be singing the lower stuff, but it was the clean-shaven Jeff that had the super low bass, and now we get this very light, baritonal or even tenory quality to the sound approaching this second verse.
Tonight, then we should all die together. Raise a glass of wine for
Wine. Let's figure out what he's doing there. Wine. Mm. Wine. I love it. I love it when Geoff throws a little tasteful riff in there, as I like to call it. A riff that adds to the piece. It's a little embellishment, a little coloratura. Adds a little flair, a little spice without being showboaty. Love it.
Raise a glass of wine for the last time. Calling out, Father, oh, prepare as we will watch the flames burn, oh, burn on the mountainside.
It's funny, this piece really is a much lighter feel than Misty Mountains. Misty Mountains really is that, it's like dark, and especially in Jeff's version was like dark, and it had like this, like, I talked about it then, like it's like they're, you know, soldiering through the mud, through the woods, right on this unexpected journey. He's got the same costumes here, so you kind of look at these Jeffs and you're like expecting this like dark, badass thing, but the song's just not written that way. So I don't know what he's going to do with the arrangement, but that intro he does really, I remember listening to the Ed Sheeran version, and the intro really feels like a separate piece from the rest of this song, because the intro and how Geoff did it here was kind of that kind of tough, badass vibe, and then it moves into this, the actual, you know, meat of the song, and it's much a lighter approach, and it actually is more fitting for, like, you know, more of like an Ed Sheeran voice, which is more how Geoff is approaching this, the solo outside of that first verse, with that more lighter, tenory, you know, kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? That's fine. Yeah, just kind of a lighter, tenory, maintaining that, you know, breathiness in the sound throughout, to kind of keep that atmosphere, shall we say.
Desolation comes upon the sky.
So we got a little, that was nice. Nice. So we get a little riffing in the bass register, and then, you know, sinking all the way back down to that A flat one again. I mean, like, again, I could give pit vibers on all these. Like, anytime someone has a clean A flat one chest voice, like, it's so rare. I can't even tell you how rare that is, even among the bass community, to have a really nice, clean A flat one chest. It's crazy rare, and we get used to it, and we get adapted to hearing singers like Geoff do it, and we're like, oh, that we don't even feel like it's that low anymore. God, in any community choir, any church choir, even professional choirs, and it's so rare to have a bass that can sing that low in chest voice. Having sung in tons of choirs and tons of opera companies and yada yada yada, extremely rare, even in the professional world.
Desolation comes upon the sky. Now I see fire inside the mountain. I see fire burning the trees. I see.
Let's just talk about this shift in arrangement. So now we have a little more motion. We do have those. It's like a drum with all the high frequencies filtered out, essentially. So you just get that kind of bass pulse, the really low end of that kick drum. And then we have a little movement in the piano as well. So instead of having, you know, chords, we're having a little bit of boom, 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 boom. We're having like a more plucked, pianos are not plucked, but we're getting a more kind of plucked sound, more percussive sound in the background. We also have this cool shift in color as well, which is just kind of priming our brains for that shift in the musicality as well.
Inside the mountain, I see fire.
Like B flat one, like it's a joke.
Burning the trees, I see fire. Halloween souls, I see fire.
A little riff down to a B flat one there.
Halloween souls.
Halloween souls. An octave down, of course. Love that though. Riffing down to a B flat 1. Like, what?
Hollowing souls that see fire, the blood in the breeze, and I hope that you.
That was, I think he touched an F1. Did he touch an F1 in chest voice there? No. But yes, I think he did.
The blood in the breeze, and I.
It's so subtle. It's just right at the end of that B flat. But it sounds like it goes bum bum down to that F for just a split second. Did you guys hear that pitch just for a real hot second? Now again, these headphones are super boring. They're super studio, like very even response. So like if you're wearing some like bassier headphones, maybe it's more obvious what he's doing there. For these, it's barely intelligible.
Hope that you remember me.
All right. So a lot more percussion. It's still very light instrumentation, right? We're not getting like a drum set here or a big snare. We're getting like brushes, basically, like that subdued kick, the brushes, but now we have more motion in that treble piano melody. Like whatever it's doing.
Oh, should my people fall, then surely I would do the same. Confined in mountain halls, we got too close to the flame.
So we are 3 minutes in, and we are still getting just ums in the background. So keeping it very cool. Very cool.
Halls, we got too close to the flame. Calling out, Father, oh.
Hey. Wait a second. Confusing myself.
Confined in mountain halls, we got too close to the flame. Calling out, Father.
There it is. A flat 4 in a. Let's see what he's doing there.
Got too close to the flame. Calling out.
So chest mixed, I think. C sharp 4, C sharp 4, A flat 4.
We got too close to the flame. Calling out, Father, oh, oh.
Oh, oh, oh. So same pitch as he used in that bass riff. Beep beep boop bop. No, it was the tenery riff he had. It was slightly different for that bass riff he did. And now he's done it 1 octave higher as well.
Calling out, Father, oh, hold fast and we watch the flames burn on the mountainside.
Again, keeping it, opting for a lighter mechanism, not going into like a full chest belt up to that A flat, which we know Geoff can do. We've seen him do it before. And now we also are getting some oohs and even some text in the background harmonies as well. So we have opened up now. The arrangement has opened up from just ums, kind of in line with this added percussion. Actually, let's go back so you guys can hear that. Hold fast and we will.
Desolation comes upon the sky. Now I see fire inside the mountain. I see fire burning the trees. I see.
So going now, really jumping back and forth between more subdued vowel, and repetition or coordination of the text with the solo. And the solo has returned back to this middle octave. Getting to this point in the song, you kind of expect the higher octaves to really take over if you're trying to hit that climax. But now Geoff has gone back to the middle octave. So we got bass octave to start, middle octave, high octave, now back to the middle octave for this, whatever verse this is, like fourth verse or something.
Inside the mountain I see fire, burning the trees I see fire, hollow in souls I see fire, and blood in the breeze.
And Geoff always, again, opting for that flow of sound, so he is he's not raising the soft palate, so that allows air to pass through the nasal passages. So there's some added nasal resonance in there, as opposed to just being purely oral cavity resonance, right? We're getting the nasal passage resonance as well. And Geoff has been known to do this as long as I can remember, and it does allow for an easier flow of air. Which allows for a more legato singing. And legato is basically just smooth, connected singing where the consonants and words are not interrupting the actual sound flow. Now, of course, in an unvoiced consonant like a s or a t or a k, the sound does technically stop. Your vocal folds do stop vibrating. But if you're opting for a more consistent flow of sound, the time in which they stop vibrating to the time they start vibrating again is shortened, and it creates more of an illusion that the sound actually never stops. Now, of course, voiced consonants like a z, v, m, you can actually keep the voice going through those consonants. You never actually stop singing. But unvoiced, the unvoiced consonants, the voice does stop phonating for a very brief period of time, and Geoff opts for a technique, a style of singing that even despite these unvoiced consonants, all those, it feels like the sound never stops. And that's always what he optimizes for.
And I hope that you remember. And I hope that you remember. And if the night is burning,
okay.
I will cover my eyes. For if the dark returns and my brothers will die.
With the night is burning. Okay, so we are now okay. We are up to A flat 4 in chest voice. There we go, Geoff. You sick man. You F1 chest to A flat 4 chest. Rude.
I will cover my eyes. For if the dark returns and my brothers will die. And as the sky is falling down, it crashed into this lonely town. And with that shadow upon the ground, I hear my people screaming out. Now I see fire.
Okay, so we're getting the background's also like pretty much all text at this point. We're done with the ums. Forget the ums. They're out of here. And we got Geoff in the high octave, full chest voice. And now we're even getting some strings in the background. It's been piano and light percussion throughout the first 4 minutes, basically. But now we are getting some orchestral strikes, which really adds a cool element to this piece.
Crashed into this lonely town, and with that shadow upon the ground, I hear my people screaming out. Now I see fire inside the mountain. I see fire burning the trees. I see fire hollowing souls.
So that B flat 1, I haven't given him a pit viper yet. I'm just gonna wear him. During the last section. Sorry, Geoff. You have too many low notes. I can't keep track anymore. Just gonna wear it for a hot second. I'll give it to him on this B flat, big fat B flat. So this is clearly a B flat where he, instead of doing the really natural approach, is opting. He's like, I'm gonna smash people in the face with a dark bassy sound on this. And so that's what he does. Lowers the larynx, opens the throat, pulls the tongue back a little bit so it gets that really dark, freakish. It's a freakish sound. It's like he has a pharynx the size of like a giant. Yeah.
In the trees I see halloween souls. I see fire and blood in the breeze, and I hope that you remember me. I hope that you remember.
What's it have to do?
And I hope that you
Honestly, I love it. I love that he didn't end with a low note.
Thanks so much for watching I See Fire from The Hobbit, The Desolation
Jeff.
of Smaug. I hope you loved it because I'm pretty sure I still have glue on my face from all of the makeup. As always, these videos would be impossible to make without viewers like you and all of the lovely folks over on Patreon. And just to name a few
I'll let
of my
this
favorites.
message play out.
Christy Jones, Sarah O, Laura Mueller, Patricia Schumann, Debbie Goodling, Carl and Melanie Thomas, Osa M. Lagnestall and Dorothy Brune, and of course Deb's Badger. Comment below and let me know what you'd like to see next, and I will see you soon.
And my best friend, Peter Barber. Thanks so much for doing an analysis on this video. What's up? Did Jeff say that? I do feel like Jeff is a friend now, becoming a friend. More on that later. Love it. I love everything the man, like everything he touches turns to gold. I always loved the intro to this song by Ed Sheeran, and then I thought the rest was like pretty limp. Jeff's version is not limp. I will say that. It's just like Ed Sheeran plus basso profundo plus cool orchestral additions. I don't really, I never listened to the original that much because I never really liked it that much aside from the intro. So I have less to go on as far as comparison to what Jeff really did differently, aside from obviously all the vocalism and added harmony and more things of the vocal nature. Like I know how to compare Jeff's voice to Ed Sheeran's, radically different, obviously. But aside from that, like less to go off as far as comparison. But all I can say is I liked Jeff's version a lot, and I love that he didn't end with a low note. That to me, that is like, I don't know, it's like a sign of artistic maturity. And he already gave us plenty of low notes at the end, and we're always expecting him. And most people want him to finish every song with a big low note. And the fact that he didn't is really cool, I think. That's my opinion. I think it's very cool that he was just like, nah, it'll be cooler if I just like leave him hanging. So big respect to you, Jeff, if you are watching, and big respect either way. It's been a joy to get to know you a little better recently, and to watch your incredible journey with all your amazing music. And I can't wait for the next one. And I'm happy to be back in the saddle making these videos again. It has literally been 2 months, and this is the first go around with this angle. So I hope you guys really enjoyed staring deep into my soul for this one. And this is how it's going to be probably for the next couple months. So get used to it. Like, subscribe, go follow Jeff, go support Jeff on all the places. Keep an eye out for the podcast, as there might be a very special episode with a very special certain somebody coming in a few weeks. So I hope you guys enjoy that when it drops as well. And thanks so much for the support, guys. 100,000 subscribers. Cannot believe it. Good God. It's incredible to be in this position. And I'll see you guys during the unboxing. That's probably the next thing that's gonna be up after this. So cheers, guys. Love you all. Thank you. Comment below. Check out my Patreon, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.